Okay, episode number 73.
And today we have here with us a psychonaut all the way from Australia. Here he is, Dylan Law. So,
how y'all's doing?
Yeah.
Hope you're all swell. Enlightened Youth Podcast.
yeah,
I'm glad to have you boys fucking contact me and shit. Like, it's good. It's good stuff, man. I enjoy it.
Exactly.
For
I mean,
sure.
we're obviously interested in all the teachings that you have to provide, all these experiences that you've, been through. And we hope to, I guess, with this knowledge as well, also encourage somebody to, I guess, learn as well as we speak through this podcast.
Yeah, which you're doing a pretty good job at. I mean, you're on
Yeah,
TikTok,
really
you're on
is.
Instagram.
Yeah.
You have over like 20K followers on TikTok, over 400,000 likes. So that's pretty solid so far. So
Thanks, man. Yeah, I've been working at it. Been doing my fucking thing, bro. It's been strange because, like, as you guys know, like, TikTok is the fucking platform now, bro.
Yeah.
It's like as much as you want to say, like Gary Vee's been talking about it for a while, bro. Like, TikTok is the shit right now, bro. Like overindulge in that and you won't regret it, man. Like, it's been the real shit. And I think it's been less about me and more about the tendency to want to go for the whole TikTok thing, the whole Instagram thing, the whole, like, yeah, dude, it's been like, TikTok's been a real fucking help, man. It's been a real good help. But yeah, I appreciate you boys having me on, man. Like, it's great. I'm so happy you guys contacted me and whatnot.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot that we can discuss within this, like, we have like around 30 to 40 minutes or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's cool.
All right, cool.
All right.
So I guess straight up to the first question. All right. So what started this whole psychedelic journey? Because I'm pretty sure we share this theme of that was my, like, I guess that was like around my awakening point, like where I was starting to realize, wow, there's really more to life than just this physical reality. Was it the same for you? And if so, when did this start?
Solid question, man.
Yeah.
It's rather difficult, actually, in a way. I just want to start off with the fact that it is rather difficult because, like, everything that's transcendent about this reality it's very difficult to comprehend, because as you boys know, like, the first trip you have, it's absolutely positively, like, it elevates you beyond the understanding of consciousness and God, and the understanding of, like the like, we use this third dimension as like our foundational base, and we expand everything, beyond that. And it's difficult, man. It's difficult to pull apart reality from what we know. And it's like I've tried to fill that gap between everything that's transcendent that we pull apart from the trip and elevate, like the whole idea of exponential growth, and we try to rip apart that from the reality that me and you two boys exist in. And there's a lot of gap between that, and that's where we work in between, the idea of the transcendent and where we are now. So the idea of, like, a lot of wiggle room, bro. There's a lot of wiggle room between that, and that first elevating trip kind of transcends you and allows you to dance within this space that we have. Very strange shit, but yeah, like, that's what connected me to you guys, bro. That's what connected me to you guys.
That's true. Yeah, this did not happen by accident.
No, it did not. That's what I like.
Yeah, bro. Good call. Exactly. Yeah. It did not happen by accident, bro.
No, I love this.
Dude, me and my boys are in here now, bro.
Oh yeah. They're listening to a live. What's up,
Hey.
Other planet.
I'm telling you,
so this is one of my mates. This is Steven, and this is fucking Colby.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. So
how convenient it is. Where are you guys like podcasting from?
United States, Georgia.
Wow. Georgia.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's strange the connections you get from around the world, bro.
That's so true.
It's kind of, yeah, dude. Awesome. It's difficult to comprehend, because I've got friends from Seattle, I think it fucking was, some fucking state within your country, bro.
Yeah,
some state, and they just chat, they just talk, and we're talking about, like, it was just the Instagram live, and we're talking about this transcendent shit, dude. And it's like there there are people in between us who understand what he understands, understand what I understand, but the conversation just flows. And even with this, like the kilometers between us, bro, like the kilometers between me and you boys right now is fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's a fucking fat number, dude.
No, that is insane.
Like the fact that we can transcend that just with the power of the internet. It just fucking works, man. And
Can I ask him a question, dude?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Okay, so I'm guessing you know him as like McKenna Madness.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, you know,
McKenna Madness.
dude,
what drew you towards my friend? I'm really curious. What made you want to?
Honestly, Harvey was.
What made you want to like link up with him and have a podcast with him? It's like I'm really curious to hear.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay. So I was going through TikTok. You know, I was on like the hashtag bad trip section, hashtag psychedelic section, and so you know, the Enlightened Youth podcast showed up. And I'm just going through this guy's feed. I was like, okay, he has something about, you know, anxiety. Like these are all problems. Because like recently on my trips, there's this common theme where there's this like anxious point in the middle of a trip. It comes out of nowhere. So like, okay, let's see what this guy has to say about it. And so when you talked about it, I was like, you know what, this makes sense. You know, when you were talking about taking a deep breath, talking about let it go, channel those, you know, that you're overthinking into something positive. I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. I want him on the podcast.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. On my first transcendent psychedelic experience, this was the man I had right by my side. He was literally guiding me through that trip, and it's like, I remember all the fine details of that trip, and it's like, this man helped me get to the point that, like, I feel like I'm a good individual that's going places in life, and it's because this motherfucker.
Shaman shit, bro. Shaman shit.
This is a very good shaman, and I'm glad that you have him on your podcast.
Yeah. Can lead into like our first question. I guess personally for you, like, what was your first introduction to like psychedelics? Like, and if so, you know, like, how was the trip? Like, was it a good one? Was it a bad one?
That's
first
deep,
was a
bro.
Cassis.
Well, what you want to call your first trip? I was actually like the proper first trip. I was on one third of a tab. That's what I'm on, but like that's what I was on. But I really, when I talk about the concept of my first trip, I really don't consider that my first trip, because all it was a pure sense of overwhelming anxiety. That was really my first trip, but I really hate to call it that, because we were all walking home, we were all quiet, we had our heads down,
we didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
We had no clue what was going on. Like, I will be honest with you, that was beautiful for me, but it's like, I get how that could be scary for some people, because I was like,
but it was
like a little microdose, dude, but it just distorted your reality. It was like, it didn't feel normal, dude.
But it also, that first trip seemed to integrate with our reality that existed at the time. So that was we were about 16. 16.
We were 16.
We're 19 now. So that was about 16, probably a couple years ago. But what I like to call my first trip is so much more beyond that, bro. It's way beyond that. I was probably about 17. I was alone. I was just had broken up with my second missus, with like my second girlfriend. Like, people, like, we never really called each other girlfriend and boyfriend, but whatever it was, it really was my second girlfriend, right? Yeah. So after we broke up, I had double dropped. I had ended up. It's crazy shit, dude. And what really was my first trip was that alone time with myself. Was my elevation between me, myself, and I. What you would call, and what a lot of people call, like everyone calls them this elevation of yourself, your potential you, or your transcendent, your higher self. That's what I'm fucking your higher self, dude. I completely came in contact face to face with my higher self. And no matter what anyone says about like psychedelic.
You want to keep it going from where we left off?
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, I guess you know how you were hitting on speaking to or seeing your higher self. Like, did you have a chance to like was it a message, like something that you came out of this with, like a huge realization? Like, were you able to speak, or were you able to, like, what did you get from it basically?
Well, that first transcendent trip, as you boys know, and as probably the pop culture of the psychedelic community know themselves, is that the experience itself transcends language. It does transcend language, and no matter how elevating the trip, how de-elevating the trip, however, according to your own individual subjective reality, it's always transcendent. It always beats the level of language.
Beats the level that you're on. It's like, good luck trying to put this into words, but
exactly,
have fun trying to put it into words that you have in this setting.
Exactly, dude.
So you're
And
saying
the
experience,
trip tells you that.
Like you have to experience it. Like you can't like really construct it in language and explain to someone. Like they really have to go through that experience in order to fully comprehend it.
Exactly.
That's a good point, dude.
Yeah, people really do, and I think that's the hardest thing about psychedelics, is that you can explain it all you want. We can use the analogies that we have, everything that we got under our belt, we can use them, but nothing will ever meet the level of, you need to do it yourself, bro.
Yeah,
you really need to try it, man. And that's what it really boils down to.
Oh, what? That's so interesting that you say that, because that leads into like this question that, there's upcoming people that are interested in trying any sort of psychedelic. Like, would you recommend someone like prepares before, like maybe indulges in like books or YouTubes or documentaries, or do you just recommend them just to go in, just to try it and, just balls deep in, really?
I reckon, dude. I reckon you gotta everything that you can learn. The most important thing that you can learn is the concept of set and setting. Like literally everyone watching, you guys included, me included, everyone in this room included, can Google set and setting, which is the set being your mindset, how you go into it, like the way you feel that week, that month, that day, that hour, that minute can always be elevated, and that's the set, the mindset, and the setting being your environment. Who are you around? Are you around assholes? Are you around good people? Are you around people you can transcend with? Are you around people you can't transcend with? It's like the setting is the environment, who you're around, bro. So the most important thing you can take into account is the set, mindset, and setting, environment, everywhere you're around. If you can get the factors to swing your way, to do with how you can transcend your limited reality, how you can transcend your three-dimensional reality, if you can do it in a way that swings the factors your way, you have a good trip. You'll have a good trip, bro. And as long as you can keep those factors swinging your way, you'll be okay. And if not, bro, you just got to take your dose and just hope for the best, man. The swing, set and setting. Google that shit, dude. Google that fucking shit, and you'll be okay.
That's so true, because I feel like on a trip, everything is like 10 times more. Like you feel everything 10 times more than you usually do. I feel maybe even 100 times. You feel everything on an energetic level. Like I remember tripping one time around not really the wrong people. It's just like, you can't transcend with them, like you're saying, so like you feel their energies on a whole other level. You kind of, okay, I need to stay away from those people. I need to get with these people. Okay, not that guy, maybe this person right here. And so like it just, you feel it. Like you can literally see like these almost like auras, like these energies, and you just like, what repels you and what attracts you. So yeah, it's super important to like, set and setting. That's probably the best way to put it. The mindset that you go into it. And
Set and setting, man. It's literally just put it in your Google search bar, tap search, and you'll have your reference there. That's your reference, dude. Everyone tripping balls, bro. That's your reference, dude. Just Google set and setting, and you'll be okay. If you think about the aspect of like the quote that says, "Our bodies lay on thousands of dead philosophers that have existed before us," right? So if you expand on that concept, everything that you're worrying about, everything that you're stressing about, everything that you don't feel has transcended along with your reality, it's all transcended before you. So if you Google these aspects, if you understand what's actually going on in your head, you can transcend your genetics, dude. You can backtrace yourself. You can rely on yourself to understand yourself, as long as you you know how to do it, bro. So just Google's your best friend in this aspect, bro. If we're talking about good trips and like being your best self during your good trips, like Google's your best friend. Google's 100% your best friend.
Yeah,
so important.
Yeah, that's useful. What other question do we have here?
Like basically, you know how, I mean, these are steps we can take to have a good trip. And I guess you can speak on your own personal trip. Like, have you ever encountered a bad trip? And if so, like, did you find a way to like get out of it? Did you find a way to control yourself? Or was it like, this is a complete bad trip, this is taking over me, and then you just had to wait until it was over?
Well, both of those aspects are important, dude. Both of those aspects are important. The idea that whatever you're going through, your bad trip does have a good side to it. And whatever happens during the course of your bad trip, whether you're hammering down and a part of you that's purely impulsive, purely a part of you that's just a intrusive thought, or purely a part of you that's not right. And you can elevate that part of you if you don't understand what you're actually going through, right? Otherwise you can backtrack and take a deep breath and go, like the whole element of Alan Watts' philosophy, which is that thoughts are just thoughts. They pass through, they flow through you like water, dude. They flow through from your bottom chakra to your top chakra, man. And the energy, all it does is flow through you like water. And as long as you remain the observer, then you're chill. Then you're fucking chill, dude. Just remain the observer and you're okay, no matter what the bad trip is, dude. No matter what the bad trip is.
That makes sense.
So
that really does make sense.
Guys, we're gonna come across, technical difficulties, considering that they are across the world.
Yeah,
so
that is, that's so true. And I guess we were hitting on an exclusive point, which was he was speaking on, being the observer and seeing it. And we were trying to say basically before it cut off how, like, yes, that makes complete sense, because once you realize that you are in a trip or in a loop and you try to control it, it suddenly becomes like, whoa, like anxiety, overthinking, like, why can't I control this thing?
Yeah.
And then once you become the observer, literally, you see this loop happening and you just sit there and let it happen without forcing yourself on it, you realize that it's going to be okay. Like, it's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep going. But that's like, how you were saying, we would notice it and we would get like these anxieties.
Yeah.
And then that therefore leads to, would it be ego, right? It would, like our flesh wanting to control.
It wants to control every aspect of it when really thoughts are flowing. You're like, that's like trying to stop a river. Like, you're going to come across difficulties. Like you said, there's thoughts are just like a
natural,
it's just flow. It's supposed to flow. And when you're trying to stop it, like, hold on, I got to think about this. Like, hold on, let me overthink this. Like, you're disrupting the flow of thought, and so that causes anxiety, and that causes panic, because you're trying to control something that's not supposed to be controlled in the first place.
Yeah, and that's
supposed to let them pass.
That is the insane part about it. It's insane. Like, that we get into these loops. What would trigger these loops? What is is it like just our subconscious mind things that we go through, or
things that we've put into our own minds, like everything that we've observed, it becomes apparent during the trip, especially.
Insane.
So like everything you've been absorbed throughout your life, anything that like you feel like is and that's why I said, like, you have to watch out about that kind of mindset that you have going into a trip.
Oh, that's so important.
The mindset going in. Important. And so if that's something that's happening recently that you're thinking about, like, for years, I was like, okay, I'm trying to get rich, but like, then what's the point, and then it goes back, and then you're just like, imagine if you would have been stuck in that loop, like, oh my God, like, then it doesn't fucking matter. Your heart starts being like,
no, that's what I was thinking, man.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I started to think that.
And then like, wait a second, no, it does matter because I want to get rich, but like,
there's no
fucking point, because maybe that's just what I want. Maybe I'm not supposed to be. Just like, because I'm going to die anyway.
Yeah, no, that's literally what it is. Basically what we were discussing right before it like ended was like being the observer and realizing, sometimes we get into these loops and that we want to control these loops. And once you start to control them or want to, you realize that's when you start to feel anxious. That's when you start to feel like you can't control things. But like how you said, being the observer, like really stepping back and realizing you're going through this and just letting it happen. Because would you say like it's our ego that wants to control it? It's our flesh that's scared that we don't have the ability to control this loop?
Yeah.
Well, Bro, it's
That's
very
a difficult
difficult,
question,
dude.
man.
That's a good question. That's a really good question, bro.
Maybe it's just
It's
the uncertainty of the unknown, dude. Because it's like you're delving into something that you cannot comprehend with words or anything.
if you
Very difficult, dude.
exactly. If you try to when and if and how you transcend this reality, it's always beyond language. So whether it's us boys tripping, whether it's someone like you want to say below, whatever it is, whatever, who don't have the language to harbor these experiences, they're below. So they are transcending this reality without the language to understand how to transcend this reality, right?
Language.
So it's all about language. The more you know, the more information you can harbor. Knowledge really is power. Knowledge really is power, because the more you know, the more you can understand your trips, the more you can integrate your trips, the more you can integrate it into reality, the more you can apply your knowledge into this three-dimensional world that me and you harbor. Right? So the more you understand, the more you read, the more you comprehend, the more all of it, dude. The more you understand, dude. That's what it's all about, bro. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
can like
Yeah, and I feel like these loops happen for a reason. You know, like you said, you have to go into it with a certain mindset. Like whatever's been going on the past week, month, or the past few months, I feel like that gets, you know, dragged into the trip. And so I feel like it's our responsibility to like not try to control every thought, but like just let it happen. Like you said, be the observer instead of trying to control every thought. Like this trip is trying to show you something. I feel like it's a message that's trying to be shown to you, and instead of trying to like, you know, just let the loop drag you in. Like that's what's happened to me. You know, and that's like the cause of like, I guess, you know, my anxiety during trips has been that I get dragged into this loop and I try to control it. I'm trying to control every thought that happens, but our thoughts just happen like this. You know, you can't control it. That's where the anxiety I feel sets in, you know?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. So like, I guess, oh my bad, go.
It is difficult, man. It is difficult because what we call like Alan Watts called us what did he call us? He said something like a blob within a skin of ego. That's all we are, man. That's all we are as people, dude. It's like all we are is just our ego. We attach to our name, we attach to our persona, we attach to our everything, dude. And when that gets transcended, when that gets beaten, when that gets broken, all we want to do is let our ego get in the way, bro. That's all we want to do. We want to justify our own existence. And what psychedelics do is it breaks that barrier, man. It breaks it so it doesn't have to exist.
It helps it.
And it's very difficult though. It is incredibly difficult to transcend this three-dimensional reality, bro. It's very, very hard. And like you're saying with the trips, man, it's like your own reality trying to get in the way, and you have to snap that, bro. It's like Duncan Trussell says, bro, it's like an ingrown bone, and the only way that an ingrown bone can heal is if it fucking snaps, dude. If it snaps and it heals the proper way, bro. Like that's ego death, bro. We need a fucking break, man, just so our natural elements of ourselves can grow, can develop, and can transcend, can grow into fruition, into the real entity that it's supposed to be, bro. It's like it's a very difficult thing, man. It's a very difficult thing, man. It's hard shit, bro. It's hard.
That makes so much sense. I mean, I guess that can lead on to like people that have this ability to consistently overthink or consistently in anxiety thoughts. Like, what would you say to these people that always have negative thoughts and are consistently overthinking in these moments, or just in general? Because I can see like you're heavy on mental health, like think through your page and stuff.
Overthinking is a difficult one, bro. What do you reckon?
Dude, I genuinely think that comes down to not genetics, but like the people who they hang around with, in my opinion. Like, I understand this for an instance, but like if you hang around with the wrong group of people, you sort of get their like, you know, genetic sort of thing, right?
Start to get like their attributes.
Yeah, like the attributes. Like you sort of eventually like, you know, gain that sort of attribute.
If you hang out with 9 alcoholics, bro, you are most likely to become the 10th alcoholic.
That's
what you want to call like genetic and that our life is determined by both genetic and environmental factors, right? So what you can call your genetic factors is your, what you say, like addiction. My dad was an addict. My mum was an alcoholic. It's like you can really limit yourselves by the genetic factors, right? But once you break free from that, all you remain in the abyss of your environmental factors. So then you can say, oh, what are my friends into? What are my siblings into? What are yada 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 yada. And you can make all the excuses for what gets in the way of your transcendent reality. So then you could say, oh no, everyone around me bong smokes. Everyone around me does this. Everyone around me does that. So then what you do is you limit yourself by your surroundings, dude. That's what we do as humans, because we want to relate to everything that's around us.
100%.
So it's like if you do relate to your environmental factors, then that's what you become limited by. It's a very sad reality. It's an incredibly sad reality, but it's a true reality.
100%.
Because if you surround yourself by people who just smoke bongs every day, guess what you're gonna fucking become, bro? You're gonna become a bong smoker. Like, what the fuck do you expect? You know what I mean?
That makes complete sense.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we have our
It's a
experience
weird
That's
thought.
literally
doing that
like
too.
Yeah.
But like, I guess we realize that, our surroundings and all the people we hang out with will start to become like them. So I guess that's when we realize, maybe that isn't what we want anymore in this life. So we had to step back, and that's when you realize it's not even like we're letting go of these friends, but it's just natural. Like, I guess our frequencies don't match anymore, to the point where we're not just vibing the same as we used to. We no longer enjoy, I guess, going out consistently to these parties, fucking drinking and smoking all the time. But I guess, we transcend to a different sort of frequency now.
Yeah, that's true.
That's real, bro. And that's where the idea of individual reality comes into play. Because as soon as we become of age, of 18, 19, 20, 21, we decide our own reality. We decide what we want to delve into. We decide the path that we want to take. And like Terence McKenna says, if you do not have your own plan, you become a part of someone else's plan.
Wow. That's true. Wow.
Terence McKenna.
It's hectic shit, dude. It's full hectic shit, bro. Because as much as you want to deny it, as much as you want to think it's not true, your life's determined by the people you hang out with, bro. I always say it's like, after psychedelics, it's like you walk around with an onion, and this onion that you use is sort of like a video game. It's a lot like a video game, because you hold this onion, and everything you look at, you can kind of peel back this onion. And it's sort of like, oh, you can think past this layer of the left and right. You can think past this layer of the transcendent. You can think past whatever it is, bro. And you get to this point of this psychedelic onion that you walk around with, that you end up being like this you're limited by dualism. And then after that, after you peel back that dualism layer, you get to this onion created by pure light. And it's like, after psychedelics, you just walk around with this onion with the ability to transcend your reality that you're limited by. And I think that's the best thing that psychedelics do for you. It allows you to see things through these layers that exist, bro.
No, that's the best way to describe it, because I always used to see things as layers as well. Like you're peeling back the layers of conformity, of society, of whatever, all expectations, and you get left with what's actually true and divine. And it's what our spirit is, in essence, is what you should be, because everyone's spirit, we all have inside of us what we really want to do. Not because, like, we're not supposed to be a product of what everyone else wants us to be. Sadly, that's what we were saying is, like, that's how it is. You're a product of what your friend group consists of, what your family said. But breaking out of that is what psychedelics allows us to do. And it's like, it's like that it's the core, it's our essence, Yeah. And I guess I also saw this highlight or something on your Instagram about intention. Like, when you're going to psychedelic trip, because I know there's people who just take it to, get fucked up and whatnot, but like there's also intention,
realization sort of thing, don't you?
Huh?
You take it for a realization sort of thing, don't you?
Yeah.
You go with it with intent, really.
Yeah, it's like discover
it has
something.
to elevate you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, like, I guess what are some intentions that people should set? Like, for our listeners out there, like, what are some intentions that you'd give them?
Well, for real, first one I would say is the intention to learn about yourself. The intention to learn about what's in your mind, because there's one of my old posts says, you are the universe experiencing itself. And that is more real than anything you can comprehend, dude. Because all of the atoms we see out there in the universe, all of the stars we see, all of the planets we see, dude. We like to see it as something beyond us, something above us, something whatever. But that's not beyond us. All of that we see, it's us. That's us. We are atoms experiencing itself. So if you think about the
absolutely right before our eyes.
Right before our eyes, bro, and we can comprehend it somehow.
We comprehend it
somehow,
understand it to a degree.
In a way that we can understand it. In a way that animals can understand their own being. We are the universe experiencing itself, right? Yeah. So if we can teach everyone that you are not as disconnected from reality that you may think. That's the best thing we can teach people, bro.
100%.
That's the best thing we can teach people, is that everything is connected, that you are as connected as to the reality that you see when you look into the night sky. That's us. That's me. That's you. That's everything collided into one, bro. It's difficult to comprehend.
No, that's powerful, bro. And honestly, the thing is, like, that's why we have these feelings towards, like, when we walk in nature, it gives us an energy, it gives us some vibe that people don't really know how to define until after that psychedelic experience, until after those meditations. You know, it takes something within for us to finally understand, wait a second, you know, this has always been a part of me. You know, when I walk through nature, there's a reason why I feel like this. When I look up at the night sky and see all the stars, there's a reason why I feel like this. And, like, we'll sound crazy to the people who have never experienced these things. But, like, the thing is, once you take, you know, a psychedelic, once you take these meditations, once you start to, I guess, transcend and start to elevate, that's when you actually get to feel these things on a whole other level.
Yeah, for real, bro. But you have to have that transcendent reality to tap into that, bro.
He literally said what I said.
See, bro, this is the thing about psychedelics, bro. Me and Colb's here, we're full trippers, bro. But even the fact that you are on the other side of the world, it still has that connection, bro. We still have that connection, and I think that's the applicable side of psychedelics, bro. It makes you realize all is connected. It makes you realize everything is all one united being, and that if we all decide to collectively move forward to make the world better, to do things that transcend this three-dimensional reality that everyone is seemingly limited by money, by power, by all of that. And if you can transcend that, it connects all of us, bro, no matter how far away we are from each other.
No, that's so true. And I guess you can, like, people, they do tend to separate each other with society. And I don't know how it is in your country, right? But here in the United States, obviously, you know, we have a sort of dividing between, like, being a Democrat or a Republican. And you see the government a certain way. So I would really see this as the government sees us, they try to separate us. And, you know, there's a saying, divide and conquer. So they try to separate us as people in order to fight against each other. So they're able to control each other or us as individuals even more. Like, you know, it would be lowering us and not being able to realize, like, we can work together. We can do so much better if we work just together instead of seeing us as separate.
100%.
People labels on each other.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, I feel like the whole world is going through this thing where they want us to know our differences more than they want us to know our own similarities. Ooh. Like, if only the people knew that. Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so that's really
that's crazy, bro. Well, like we were saying, in Australian politics, bro, there's up in Queensland, up in the northern area of Australia, there is politicians that own 80% of everything that people read within the newspaper, bro. So if you have that power, if you have that influence, if big brother, whatever you want to call it, whatever the fuck you want to call it, if they want you to think a certain way, you are going to think a certain way.
No, exactly.
100%.
Wow, that's insane. And I guess they have the ability to control 80% of the knowledge they put out. So they want you to learn only this. But in reality, there's so much more that we can learn. And I would say to, like, one certain person, you have to reach out. You have to be willing to know that this is not the only thing. But, like, what would you say to someone growing up and this is only what they see?
what would you say to someone growing up? That's a solid question.
That
bro.
actually is a solid
What
question.
would you say? All I would say is realize there's more to your reality than you think there is to your reality, because all that really matters is your own viewpoint of the world. And if you can manage to, through your environmental factors, through your genetic factors, to be able to transcend the limitations of channel 7, channel 9, channel 10, channel 11, channel 12, if you can transcend all of that and you're able to comprehend not only the ability to learn what to learn, the ability to learn everything, the ability to look at the world with a childlike bliss. Yeah. That's the most beneficial thing you can do to a kid, bro, because it's not about what to learn, it's about how to learn. And if you can learn how to learn instead of what to learn, you've elevated, bro. You've completely elevated. So all I would say to the kids is learn how to learn, and learn how to learn beyond the reality that someone like Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton has put in front of you. Learn how to learn. That's all I can say, man. Learn how to learn.
Yes, and I believe in that 100%, because there's this quote that says, well, I forgot who said it, but like they say life is just this cycle of learning, unlearning, and relearning. It's like we don't always have control of what we're taught, but in this process that we call life, there's a state of unlearning, you know, and then relearning things and applying things that help us create our reality. I believe in that.
Exactly like how you leave school and then learn so much more from out of school.
That's so true. That is so true.
And the system really makes us think that school is all there is. Like, oh yeah, I'm learning something. Oh, I learned this from this new class. I'm going to take this new class to learn something. But like, that's limited. That's limited because that just shows you how to get a career and how to more like further this cycle. It really just keeps
that up, but it doesn't teach you natural life.
Exactly.
It doesn't teach you anything about the street. It teaches you nothing about what you can do in applicable reality. Because you guys have gone to dealers' bags, to dealers' houses trying to get a bag of weed, right? It's like they don't teach you that at school. They do not teach you that at school. You just go in like, hey, can I get a bag? And it's like that's nothing to do with what they teach you, bro. Could you imagine one of your weeaboos or one of your nerds trying to go get a bag of weed, bro? They would be in there stressing, shaking, everything they did not learn in school, bro. Because everything you learn, it's up to you, boys. It's up to you, and it's up to you to apply what you know into your subjective reality. And everyone needs to do that, bro. Everyone needs to do that.
And that's really what it is, right? Because our whole basis is really, society sucks and breaking out of conformities, realizing, questioning yourself, questioning every little action, anything like in your life, right? It's just question everything and be curious and wonder why and do your own research. Don't just take the word for it. Don't be a sheep. Don't do what everyone else tells you to do, but realize you are individual and you can go out of your way to really expand your mind and realize just because you were taught a certain way, is it only the reality that you're supposed to live.
I fuck with that.
I fuck with that too, bro. That's good, man. That's good.
I really fuck with that. Because if you're brought up a different way, you have different aspects on the world. So like, as soon as you grow up with that, you're gonna have those aspects. But as soon as you grow up like a different sort of friend group, your aspects are gonna change to a degree. But at the same time, you're gonna still like have those attributes. If that makes sense.
It's like we say, dude, it's all about the layers, man. It's all about the layers. It's all about the layers, bro.
All onions, bro.
We're all onions.
Yeah, dead set. We're all onions, and we're still trying to peel our fucking skin back.
And I guess maybe you've had this feeling as well, but for the longest time, like when I first took, I guess my first trip was on shrooms. And the moment I took it, I was just like, this is amazing. Like I feel completely like I literally felt like the shedding away of like, wow, I really do have control over my life. Hold on, I can actually, create my own reality. Like I'm not like, and suddenly I just felt like this gratitude for life. I'm like, people need to like enjoy life more. Like everyone's just doing what everyone else is doing. Everyone's just being a sheep, and like it shouldn't be this way. And I was just so, and maybe you felt this way too, but like everyone needs to take shrooms. I felt like everyone needed to take it. But then I also like, you know, probably just now even realized that it really is the way we were raised. And so for some of us, you know, taking shrooms can be that, or taking any psychedelic can be that escape that kind of shows you where to go, because the way we've been conditioned is like, it's like these layers that they've been putting on top of us. And like psychedelics allow us to break out of those shells, break out of those layers. But for some people, I feel like eventually we can get to a point where we instead cultivate, you know, the next generations, where we cultivate our children to like, you know, realize that there's more to life, you know, and not just constrain them or restrict them to what we want them to do. Like that there's just an infinite amount of opportunities for them, you know?
Real. That's what we think. Like that's when we were talking about like the whole Kanye West interview with Joe Rogan, bro.
I haven't watched it yet.
He purely. I don't know if you guys have watched the new Joe Rogan interview with fucking Kanye, bro. It's like,
damn, I don't even know. I need to see that. I need to see it.
Yeah,
that happened, bro.
It happened, dude.
Dude, people talking about it not happening. I don't know you talking about it, but it actually happened.
Dude. We thought Kanye was not gonna go on the Joe Rogan experience. Joe Rogan's too open-minded to let Kanye talk about his intellectual properties
Dude, Dennis Rodman fucking put that shit up on his Instagram.
It's weird, bro, because we think we can't understand Kanye, but with that Joe Rogan experience interview, dude, he talks completely about the transcendent, completely about the elevation, bro. The whole concept of Kanye overriding the Joe Rogan experience. It's difficult. It's difficult because we have to go along with the ride that Kanye West gives us. We have to jump on that ride. And that's the same with us conversating right now. People watching, they have to jump on the ride. Otherwise, it's nothing. It's nothing, dude. If the people watching can't break through the barrier of the psychedelic experience, breaking through the concept of language, breaking through the concept of conversation, breaking through the concept of all of these things, like Terence McKenna said, all psychedelics do is break barriers between you and your friends, barriers between you and language, barriers between you and everything. It breaks them down. And if you can't go along with that ride, then you can't correlate with the transcendent experience, right?
Yeah.
So with this Kanye thing, bro.
Can I ask him a question?
Yeah, go ask him a question, bro. We got a question for you boys now. All right.
So it's like, I don't know, like a transcendent experience for you. It's like, do you feel like that's opened up your language and your ability to explain it? It's like, what is your pinnacle point of a transcendent experience? Because I feel like we've all experienced them. Like, what was the turning point for you with psychedelics? What made you get switched on to the point where you can talk about it the way that McKenna Madness does, the way that, what do you guys call it? It's societies. What is
transcendence? I would call it transcendent conversation. You could say cult.
What are you guys labeling yourself as? What are you guys called?
McKenna Madness sucks. That's our base, is our whole name. Yeah,
that's our podcast.
Society sucks. Society.
That's a good fucking name.
So it's like the pinnacle of your psychedelic experience, your turning point. What was it? Because it's like, I know mine, you know yours. Yeah. It's like, what is yours? What was it?
Mine was, you know, I took it with the intent of, because I used to watch so many videos, and because I had a friend that wanted to take LSD, and I was just like, I don't think I want to do LSD. That seems too, I don't know, too insane for me at the time. I was like, nah, let's take this natural, because I'm all about, you know, just natural substances, you know? And so I was like, you know what? Shrooms. If you're going to take anything, at least take shrooms, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, for real.
So I recommended him taking that. And then I started looking into it for some reason. I was like, you know, I'm going to do some studies on shrooms. So I started looking at videos, started looking about the science behind it. And I was just so fascinated by, like, how can it do this? How do more people not use this? Like, it's been used to treat depression. It's been used to treat anxiety and you know, mental disorders. And it can
long term.
So many, and all this long-term stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? I might have to try this. And so I tried it with gaining new knowledge, gaining something, you know, because that's what all these stories that I've heard on psychedelics, on shrooms, you know, specifically, was they always take something away from it. Like, you can't have a trip and not take something away from it. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, you know what, you know, I might try it, might have to. And I took, I think about, I don't know if it was 1 gram, maybe a little bit less than 1 gram. But when I took it, you know, I was just ready. You know, I was like, okay, you know, it's not really working. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna try and fall asleep. And as y'all probably know, it will not let you go to sleep. You can't just
You will not let your eyes close, dude.
yeah, exactly. I closed my eyes for a bit, and then I started thinking, and you can literally feel like this funnel just open, like for your mind, and you just start getting all these thoughts. You're like, this is a completely new mentality. Like, this is something completely different. And I recorded myself. I look back at that, I'm like, wow. So just as a reminder, But I guess the main takeaway from that trip, as I progressed through, is just this immense gratitude, like how ungrateful I once was for everything. I had a roof over my head. I had food to eat. My family was still there with me. And it's something that, we just dismiss as everyday things. Like, oh, this is just my daily life. It's not like your life shouldn't be on autopilot.
Everything we take for granted, man. If you think about it, what it's called is Maslow's hierarchy. Is that if you think about the kids in Africa, if you think about everyone else except for us in the Western world, in Australia, England, America, New Zealand, all of these places, bro, we have all of our needs met. Maslow's hierarchy is a roof over your head, food, and water. And it's like all you can think about is that until you've got those three things, dude. Like kids in Africa who are starving themselves and have a starving brother, they can't think about things like global warming. Why the fuck would they think about things like global warming if they can't feel their stomachs?
Here's another thing, though. It's like people that live in third world countries, you look at them, it's like I talk to a lot of people in my workplace have traveled abroad to a lot of countries that are poverty stricken. A lot of people are not getting the basic necessities met. But they tell me that a lot of the people there are smiling and happy. And you look at our society, you guys live in America, very privileged. We live in Australia, dude, we have everything we need. Yeah. We can get it at the click of our fingers. And why are the majority of us people that depressed, dude, and people in countries that are stricken with poverty and disease, they're happy, dude. They're onto something that we cannot personally resonate with, because it's like
that goes.
They don't have
first world problems, shit, bro. First world problems, bro. They're fucking.
But it's we think we're onto some deeper thinking because we have all of our basic necessities met, so we can think about the higher things. But it's maybe we're forgetting something that is really important. That's I don't know. That's my opinion.
No, I believe in that 100% actually, and that's something that I've been dabbling with ever since.
It's just another thing that makes you go what the fuck? It makes you just really ponder on what the fuck is going on. I don't know. That's the shit that I trip out about.
No, same. Literally, I think about poverty-stricken countries, and I feel hold on, what's going on? You do really see these people smiling, they're happy, but what is it that we're missing? Because over here, like you said, in Western society, all these types of mental disorders are popping up. All types of issues are going on, and they can be first world problems and stuff like that. But it's really what's going on in here that's not going on over there. What is it? Have we just distracted ourselves with this much when over there they're only dealing with this one? They for them it's necessity, right? So it's three things. Shelter, for us, we feel internet, job, phone, college, all these things. We feel we have all these things that are necessities. So I don't know if that plays a role into it, and that we're just too distracted and we give ourselves these mental disorders. I don't know.
That's weird. It's
maybe we diagnose ourselves with these different mental disorders. Bro. All I could say about that is the first diagnosis that any psychologist gives any person is to wake up at the same time every day, eat a good diet, and exercise. And if everyone was to apply that, me included, these boys included, you boys included, if we were all to give those things a go, to exercise every day, to diet every day, and to wake up every day, we would be a lot better than where we are now. But it's these people like Joe Rogan and these people like Jordan Peterson and all these people have and everyone that has existed before us has created the route to a transcendent, real, elevating, and good reality. It's it's like shower thoughts, bro. What can I do to make myself happier? It's shower thoughts, bro. Can I exercise? Can I eat better? What can I do, bro? It's purely shower thoughts, dude. And if everyone acted upon their own shower thoughts,
there's the application of it, dude. That's the harder part, dude. It's like there's the application of all of these good things that you put into your head, but it's like good luck trying to actually do that. You might do one, good luck trying to do the other two.
But one is good.
One's good enough.
One's good for a month or two.
Good,
if you can hammer down a month or two with one good reality,
but then there's like you can do that. I feel like you can do that really, but then like how many other people can stick at a repetitive pattern for a certain point in time to the point where they are better? That is hard, dude. Good luck trying to convey that to people.
Well, that's where
that is hard because it's like because that is a type of discipline that will either be dented into your skull through a certain teacher or individual or through your parents. Like that is hard. It is like you can do it through your own personal perseverance, but that is difficult, dude. You honestly need someone cracking the whip a bit, dude. That is weird. That is a weird thing to be like.
It is a difficult
reality.
Yeah.
It really is discipline, and what makes it harder is again your surroundings. You know, because when you're the only person that like discovered this change within, it's like, oh man, you know what? I need to take control of my life. Like, there's no reason why I should be having this many issues, this many problems, all this stress. You know what? I'm gonna start, waking up at the same time every morning. I'm gonna start, taking care of my sleep, because sleep is actually really important. And people dismiss that. People are, and there's like, there's all these problems that we put ourselves, and it really comes down to just that discipline. But it is hard when your friends around you aren't doing it.
Very hard, dude. It's like when you think about it, the amount of variables in your surrounding, like good luck trying to be able to comprehend and calculate them as best as you can.
But the thing is, you can point at your environment. You can point at it. You can be like, I'm not where I am because of him, or because of her, or because of what I've surrounded myself with. I'm not where I am because of this.
But it's like, how can you control that? Is it all just in your head? Is it all just a head game where it's like, okay?
I think it is, bro. I think it is all just a head game. It literally is all just up in here, bro.
No, I think it really is all up into.
It's all about how you can personally persevere with what's going on.
It's difficult.
It's like at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. It's like so many people are like that. It's like athletes, dude. Athletes have a very regimented, scheduled lifestyle. Is that what we want? I don't know.
How limiting can that be? How limiting can that be?
I mean, that can kind of make you dumb, dude, because it's like that's just one thing.
That house, bro. Okay, we're dipping into the realms of fucking the abyss of everything, bro. That's what we're doing.
It's randomly into it.
But that, I mean, I don't know how y'all would see it, but personally for me, I like to have things structured. I like to have what I'm going to do throughout the day, or at least I like to wake up at a certain time and do this and this and this. And that's just for me, right? If I just wake up with no intention or no thing to do or my purpose really, then it just feels like I'm just going through the motion. Instead of me writing my schedule down and seeing what things I have to do, that's me controlling this life, me being able to see, okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. But like, I guess, what would you say, is it like the construction of a schedule that is like bad, like you would say a lot of people can't do, or is it just sticking to that schedule?
Bro, it depends on the individual. Bro.
I mean, that's the thing, though. There's constructing one, and then there's applying that to your life.
Yeah.
There's
the whole aspect. We work with our left brain and our right brain, right? The right brain is the creativity element. The left brain is the like numeric element of it. The like where we measure things, right? Because like the abyss of numbers is fucked up, bro. Our life is determined by maths. Our like maths. I heard a quote: "Maths is the language of the universe," and you can roll off of that forever. Anyone who's scientific, anyone who's purely mathematical, can roll off of the concept that maths is purely everything. But some people don't think like that. Some people think with the right side of their brain, the creativity, the creative part of their brain, bro. And they can't roll off of the concept of that, bro. Both use words, though. Both use words.
Mathematics does, but mathematics is like, I don't know. This is a weird thing that I think about. It's like, majority of people in the world will agree that mathematics is a bit boring, but wordplay is really different.
That's more.
You see wordplay in everything that we find entertaining, dude. You see it in like all movies and stuff. It's all a form of wordplay and sentence structure, which makes it really appealing. And then there's books. It's like there's something about words that kind of beats mathematics in my opinion. Mathematics is a precise way that you calculate and measure things, but words do something a bit different. Words are magical, dude. And the way that you can construct them can make someone wake up a bit.
It's very similar to what Terence McKenna said. Terence McKenna said, like, what a hard reality that we all face is that the world is really made of magic. It really is, bro. Because everything we try and understand, where does everything come from? What is our purpose? What is the purpose of dreams? What is our purpose of waking up every day? We don't know. We don't fucking know. And that's where
was magic.
Exactly.
At a point in time,
The
we
concept of 1 + 1 is magic.
We just this little speck, and that speck decided I want to make some duality in this bitch. And 1 became 2, and then soon enough we're just a really big number.
Yeah, there's a lot that we really just don't understand. Like we can't grasp it. So it really is magical, you know. And
it really is magic, bro. It 100% is magic. But like you said, like the question you asked, the applicable knowledge to give to someone who's asking for a way of life is to find out what works for you. Find out what works. Do you want to wake up at the same time every day? If you don't, or if you do that, bro. Whatever works for you. Do you want to exercise first thing in the morning? Some people don't. Like there are these influential speakers that are like, wake up at 5 a.m. every day, read 20 minutes, fucking exercise 20 minutes, fucking brush your teeth 20 minutes, shower 20 minutes, bro. You got this, bro. Take life by the balls. It's like, no, bro. Some cunts don't want to do that. Some people don't want to do that, bro.
It could be a simple number. It might not be 5 a.m. because that's
numbers are just numbers, bro. Attach what you want to attach to it. And if you can attach to your goals in the way that transcends you, that makes you want to be the best version of yourself, attach to that. That's the only thing you need to attach to, bro. You don't need to attach to anyone else's reality except for your own that elevates you. That's what's important, bro. What works for you, bro.
That's true, yeah. And one person that I know that you keep referring back to is Terence McKenna. So for the audience that doesn't know about Terence McKenna, because I feel like you know more about him than I do, you know, but we both do look up to his research and everything. So what do you have to say about Terence McKenna?
Oh, bro, what do you have to say about Terence McKenna? He's a fucking...
Well, I'd say he was an individual that loved delving into the unknown.
Yeah, okay. We'll start off with that. But by the time he popped up within the 70s and 80s, the whole concept of DMT and higher doses of magic mushrooms was incredibly, incredibly transcendent and unknown. And he was the first to connect those realms together between the transcendent and our three-dimensional reality. He connected the two realms, bro, through his speech, through his intellectual conversation. And this is almost what, like, if you guys didn't know, my first start was really through McKenna Madness, was just reposting people's trippy videos and just expressing those, right, with whatever captions I had, with whatever comments I had. McKenna Madness was my first initial boom. That was my first initial pop, right? So what I would say about Terence McKenna, specifically, the man himself, is that he was switched on into frequencies that no one can ever mimic. People can try to mimic it, but exactly like anyone throughout history, there are people who are connected to the realms of the transcendent, people who are connected to the realms of the unknown, people who are connected to the realms of the abyss of the psychedelic experience. And he connected those. And there are only a few people who can come back out of the realm of the psychedelic experience who can intellectually comprehend everything that happened. Because as you boys know, bro, the experience itself is beyond language. And when you can come back and elevate and use language to express how you felt during those times, it's a very important part of the psychedelic experience. And I feel like I can do it. You boys through this conversation can do it, and Terence can do it. But these are like us. We're 1% types, 2% types who get it. The idea of getting it. And Terence got it. He was a good channel. He was a perfect channel to access this realm through. So what I would say about Terence is that everything he created, him and his brother created, you can't recreate. You can't recreate.
Well, no, what I like about Terrence and what you really hit on is that he was able to literally put his experiences into words and help other people understand what it is. And that's what I really love about it. Like, just he has tons and tons of just stuff out there like, based on his experiences. And I feel like really he was one of the best, if not the best person that is able to put these experiences into words, make it relatable, make it seem, like you said, dragging the transcendent into the 3D reality that we have right here. So, I mean, that's really what I respect.
Difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did it, bro. He did it, man.
He did that, that is insane.
All right.
It's difficult.
Yeah, and I guess just to wrap up, a final question that it's based on your own individual life and whatever you aspire to do, but it's a huge broad question, right? So whatever you answer it as, it is like, what would you say your purpose on this planet as yourself individual is, like, to have, like, with this temporary life that we have, what would you say your purpose is?
Damn, bro.
That's a big question.
Yeah.
That is a big ass question, dude.
Oh,
No.
bro.
You literally asked him that's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you end them.
That's a big question, dude. That is a good night ender of a question.
Wow.
What I would say, bro, fuck, bro. All I can say is, like, us as evolutionaries is what you would call us. We see things beyond the realms that people our age can understand. We see beyond that. We think through the layers. We see through it like glass. We can see through the transcendent reality. We can view it from a perspective that is not only our own, that is a perspective from our individual groups and a perspective from the collective consciousness itself. We can understand that. We can see through it. So what I would say is my purpose being here, bro, is to help us all collectively understand what's going the fuck on, because we have no idea what the fuck is going on, dude. Like, we look at this fiery ball in the sky, like we completely know what the fuck is up. But there's this shit called like dark matter and dark energy. Things are pushing this earth down. The reason you're sitting on the chair that you're sitting on, the reason your mic is sitting there in perfect stance, the reason my phone is sitting there in its perfect stance is because of what we call dark energy. Something is pushing us all down and we don't know why. We don't know why we're here. We don't know what the purpose of this all is. And I think that is where I source my energy from. The aspect of not knowing, the aspect of the question, the aspect of we don't know what's going on, bro. we completely have no idea what's going on. And I think that's when you draw your energy from the realm of the unknown, from the realm of the abyss, from the realm of the psychedelic experience, the energy is unlimited. The energy is there forever, bro. So when you're constantly questioning your reality, it's there forever, bro. And I think that's where I stem from. I stem from the unknown, bro.
Yeah.
I stem from the unknown. But it's a difficult aspect, bro. It's a difficult aspect. But I think my purpose is to just question everything, trust no one, do your thing. Yeah. And I think that's where I come from, man. I think that can go on infinitely.
Exactly. And obviously, this is not set in stone. Maybe over time your purpose might change. And that's awesome. But that is so cool that you're able to be here, speak with us about all these amazing things that go on, and also educate anyone that is so interested in learning about you as an individual, but also like anything that we speak on. So that's really what it is. We really do appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, and then like you said, similarly, our purposes are the same, and it's awesome that we were able to connect and share our messages. But I feel like it is our duty to share as we go. The moment we receive knowledge, share it with other people and bring awareness. Because like you said, we don't know what's going on.
Hell yeah.
And so for those who know just a little bit more, we should share it out there. So you with your podcast, ours with ours, we can accomplish a lot in helping other people. So would you like to go ahead and plug that in for us?
You can go ahead and plug in anything you need to.
Yeah, boys, we got to do another episode soon, bro. Sometime this week, do another one.
Yeah, for sure. So where can people reach you at? Where can people reach you at? And what's the name of your podcast?
All right. The podcast is the Enlightened Youth Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find the podcast. YouTube is the Enlightened Youth Podcast as well. And obviously TikTok, the Enlightened Youth Podcast, and McKenna.madness. Same with Instagram. McKenna.madness. Hit me up wherever you fucking need, bro.
Oh yeah. Dude, that's awesome. That's fucking awesome. All right. I guess we'll see you then.
Yes,
we
man. See ya.
appreciate it.
Thank you.